Here's the man the Phillies are honoring tonight and some highlights on his life. What a man he was. David Montgomery attended William Penn Charter School and the University of Pennsylvania, began working in the Phillies sales department in 1971, climbing the ladder all the way to president. In 1997, he received posthumously the Buck O'Neil Lifetime Achievement Award from Baseball's Hall of Fame in 2020. Here now with the ceremony, the television voice of the Phillies, our own Tom McCarthy.
For a sneak peek at this hallowed symbol of Phillies greatness. The Phillies are proud to announce that going forward, each Toyota Phillies Wall of Fame inductee will receive their own ring to commemorate their place in franchise history. And here tonight to present each Wall of Famer with their ring, please welcome Phillies managing partner and CEO, John Middleton. And now, please welcome to the stage those players who have been bestowed one of the team's highest honors.
Larry Bowa. Mike Schmidt. Steve Carlton.
Thank you, gentlemen. Each of you has achieved the distinction of holding a place in our Toyota Phillies Wall of Fame. And each of you now has some hardware to show for it. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I am honored to be on this dais as we forever cement the legacy of David Montgomery into Phillies history. David's respect for the game, his overwhelming love for Philadelphia, and stewardship of his hometown team remains at the forefront of our memories as we remember a friend and a leader who was so worthy of the tremendous responsibility he shouldered as the face of the Phillies. Please direct your attention to Fanavision for this fitting tribute to a man who meant so much to so many.
This is Mike Schmidt. I'd like to tell you about my friend David Montgomery. We both began our Phillies career in 1971, and our relationship grew stronger through the next 5 decades. He was a wonderful man who touched the lives of hundreds of Phillies employees and countless numbers of Philadelphia fans. He was a man of wisdom, compassion, integrity, and humor, a great businessman, and a great baseball man. For those who were lucky enough to have worked for him, there's one thread that runs through his entire tenure.
First word that comes to mind is family.
You will not find a nicer man than David.
I sometimes looked at him as a father figure.
It would be almost impossible to find someone that didn't think that David Montgomery was the best person in the world.
You see people who duck away to go around the corner. David was not that guy. You saw him, he had that big, infectious smile, and he just wanted to hug you, and those little beady eyes, you know, when he was really happy.
Always got a smile. Hey, Ryan, how you doing? How's it going? Oh, doing well, Mr. Montgomery. No, David. It's David. Mr. Montgomery's my dad.
If I were to describe David Montgomery to someone, I would say that David's baseball accomplishments equally match his outstanding character.
Extremely personable, fun, knowledgeable about every aspect of the game.
He didn't care whether you were top of the pecking order or at the bottom.
I don't know if there's a better person in that city that represented us, represented the Phillies, other than David.
He really took the family part of being a Phillies family and brought it to life.
David grew up in Roxborough and at a very young age developed a strong love for Phillies baseball. After graduating from the Wharton School of Business, he began his Phillies career with an entry-level position in the sales office in the brand-new Veterans Stadium. He made a great first impression.
You can see how energetic he was, and he was going to go up the ladder real quick.
I had known Dave since 1977 when I started as an intern here. We're sitting as a great example of his dedication to not only the organization but to the city.
His business acumen, leadership skills, and strong work ethic propelled him to the top of the organization. In 1982, David was appointed executive vice president and ran the business side of the ball club for years. In 1997, David took over as the Phillies president, the first native Philadelphian to run the ball club in over 60 years.
Everybody had a chance to weigh in as to what they thought was best for the organization.
It was so integral and important to him to really know his employees. I remember Pat Gillick telling me there's not a better person that you will ever get a chance to be around and to have be your leader.
These were lean times for the franchise, but David had a vision.
People were skeptical of the story that we were telling about what the limitations were at Veterans Stadium. But we told people when we get to the new ballpark, things will change. He wanted to have something here that just wasn't a facility for a baseball team to play in, but something that the entire city could be proud of.
He would always say, when we get into this ballpark, when we get into a ballpark, a revenue-producing ballpark, we will have a payroll commensurate with our market size. And you know what? Almost as soon as they went there, they did.
David was the driving force behind the design and construction of Citizens Bank Park, the best ballpark of the era. And like a great wine, is aged beautifully. He wanted to make it like a living, breathing entity, from the workers to the ushers to the people in concessions. It was amazing to see the whole culture of the organization, how it changed.
With CBP on the horizon, the first piece of the plan was to bring a superstar free agent to jumpstart the run to the championship.
The key example of our commitment happened when Jim Thome stepped out of the limousine.
There was a real feeling that the franchise was headed in a great direction. He had a great year, hit a whole bunch of home runs, a lot of memorable moments, and got everybody charged up to move into the new ballpark. Slowly they became a franchise to reckon with, and they became a winner.
Jim's arrival validated a lot of what we were saying, and the driving force behind that was Dave Montgomery.
Then came the big day in South Philly.
Here come the 2004 Philadelphia Phillies. Let's go get the win. Out of here.
Before long, the fruits of David's vision became a reality. It reignited the love affair between the fans and the city. It was obvious that David had a special bond with the players from that championship run.
We knew that he expected us to give it our all.
He put in the work to get the right players because it wasn't all about talent. It was all about who they are as people. He was very special. I learned an incredible amount of life experiences watching how he dealt with life.
I think we forget what a great baseball man this guy was. 257 consecutive sellouts. I think of David Montgomery when I think of that. His influence extended beyond Broad and Patterson. It extended to Park Ave, where the commissioner's office is. He had more of a global impact in Major League Baseball. Very, very well respected.
This is a guy that one day would be sitting and eating lunch with the interns, and the next day he'd be in New York playing a key role with Bud Selig as commissioner of baseball and Rob Manfred after that.
Every commissioner had him on speed dial. They would call him for input about how the clubs might feel about certain things. He was extremely instrumental in a lot of the big decisions made by Major League Baseball.
David had a lot to do with the work they did on television contracts. He was considered a scheduling guru by Bud Selig.
It just says everything about David, the person he was when all these people in baseball look up to him and revered him.
I actually represented ownership at many of the ownership meetings. Fortunately, I had a chance to go there, and I interacted a lot with David Montgomery at that time. Enjoyed his company tremendously, extremely intelligent, knew the game inside and out. He was very influential in many of the decision-making processes during the game.
There were rumors that he could possibly have been the next commissioner of baseball. Looking back at his knowledge and how much he loved the sport of baseball, I would have thought he would have been a great commissioner.
And I can say without hesitation, I would not stand here as the commissioner of baseball were it not for David Montgomery.
He felt it was important for us to get back to the same. A lot of guys probably would not have had cherries had he not been influential in that.
They were there the entire time, coming out, supporting, whether it was myself, whether it was Jimmy, whether it was Chase, whether it was Cole. It just seemed like we had something going on like every other week.
There wasn't going to be something that a player was doing, and David wasn't going to find a way to make it there. He got joy out of showing support for the team to let you know that you're not in this alone, that I have you, but the Phillies as an organization, we also have you. We're going to support you.
Thank you, David, for being a role model to me. Thank you for giving me the inspiration to want to give back to a community. With my Boys and Girls Club, it's someone like you made me realize what giving back was all about.
Even with all of his accomplishments, he preferred to have the spotlight shine on someone else. One of his signature moments came with the opening of the Ryan Howard Training Center. He was also instrumental in shining a light onto the Philadelphia Stars Negro League history. As a testament to his leadership and character, the Phillies honored him in a variety of ways. A brand new training facility was named in his honor in Clearwater. But perhaps the sweetest tribute came on a beautiful fall day in 2018 when David's Little League field in Roxborough was renamed in his honor. Cooperstown awarded David with the prestigious Buck O'Neil Lifetime Achievement Award. And now we've come full circle. as David joins me and some of his favorite people on the Phillies Wall of Fame.
He deserved it because the Philadelphia Phillies meant everything to David.
He built this stadium. He had the vision. He put the team together. He made the correct hires. He's the mastermind behind it all.
He belongs up there as much as anybody that's on the Wall of Fame. That's how much he's meant to the city, and that's how much he's meant to the Philadelphia Phillies.
For all the incredible memories made at the bank, particularly those in Red October, we had David Montgomery to thank for that. Congratulations, David, and thank you.
Welcome to the Wall, my friend. Well deserved.
We are the Philadelphia Phillies, and our first name is Philadelphia.
No worries, everybody. There is, as David said, always a window. David's vision for this ballpark was to bring more excitement to the game for players and fans alike. His mission to create an angular outfield wall stemmed from his love for Connie Mack Stadium's unique dimensions, and in turn has withstood the test of time. Citizens Bank Park has surely seen a few memorable moments in its 20 years as a result. But hearing me say it is one thing. Seeing it for yourself is another. Take a look.
This is where we have some interesting angles out here. For the most part, anything to the left of this will be Pat's responsibility, and he assures me he'll understand that angle quite well. Anything to the right, Dougie will be taking care of right now. So we have a situation where we have a seating deck coming in, fans here. This starts with a 12-foot, 8-inch wall, and actually grows to the furthest point is right here, which is 19 feet. So the toughest spot to hit a ball out will be that spot right there. You have to clear a 19-foot wall and be 409 feet from home plate. From there again, a straight line. All of these are angular sections, very similar, reminiscent to Connie Mack Stadium, where you had specific angles associated with your home run fence.
Swing and a fly ball center field. Back into his right is Harris towards the angled wall to the track, and the wall reaches out. It comes off the wall. It rolls away. JT flying around second. He's heading for third. Dusty Watson is going to wave him home. Here's the relay to the plate. JT slides. It's an inside the park home run.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you direct your attention to deep center field, where Doug Glanville, is set to unveil a new eponymous and permanent fixture here at Citizens Bank Park in David's honor. Dougie, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. More triples and inside the park home runs for the home team at Citizens Bank Park for years to come. We now turn to the part of the program where we ask someone to speak about David. The one person up to such a task, please welcome to the podium, Phillies Wall of Famer, Jim Thome.
Thank you, Tom. It is my honor and privilege to speak today about one of the most beloved and respected men in the game, and one of my favorite people, David Montgomery. From the minute I played in my very first game in Philadelphia, I knew I had made the right decision to sign here. Not only was I welcomed with open arms by the fans, I was so impressed with the front office, led by David. David was committed to winning, and that included building this beautiful ballpark that holds so many memories for all of us seated here today. From the moment the doors opened, you knew Citizens Bank was going to be special. There is a reason it's known for having the best home field advantage in baseball. There is nothing like Red October in Philadelphia. And the seeds were And the seeds for today's successes were planted by David. He absolutely loved Philly fans and wanted nothing more than to bring a championship to this incredible sports city. He was one of the rare men with a brilliant baseball mind who truly cared about his players and the people that he worked alongside. David was the definition of first class. Knowing him made us all better. To his loving wife, Lynn, children Sousa, Sam, and Harry, and his grandchildren, Elizabeth, Cameron, and Will, congratulations to you. If only David was here for this deserving moment. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Jim. Very well said. We know David had a special place in his heart for you and your entire family, as you did in his. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you direct your attention to Fanavision as Phillies all-time hits leader and 2008 world champion, Jimmy Rollins, unveils David's bronze plaque in the Toyota Phillies Wall of Fame in left field. Jimmy, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Next, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, and I ask that you please join me in welcoming to the stage David's wife, Lynn Montgomery. Yeah. And while Lynn makes her way to the stage, we invite Phillies Wall of Famer Larry Bowa and Phillies managing partner and CEO John Middleton to join us for one more presentation. We thank the Montgomery family for their profound contribution to the legacy of Phillies baseball. Tonight, we have 2 gifts. First, as is tradition, the Phillies present to you, Lynn, your own commemorative Wall of Fame plaque to mark David's place in Phillies history. And then second, and you got a good glimpse of it a moment ago, in line with our tradition, Phillies managing partner and chief executive officer John Middleton has presented Lynn with David's Wall of Fame ring. Congratulations to the entire Montgomery family, and thank you for sharing David with us all of these years. Once again, the newest member of the Toyota Phillies Wall of Fame, David Montgomery.
Lynn Montgomery, escorted by the Fanatic, having received a replica ring, Wall of Fame ring. There's Hall of Famer Pat Gillick, Larry Bowa, Jim Tomei, and all the other Phillies Wall of Famers. Here's Lila Tomei to sing the national anthem. That's right. Jim Tomei's daughter, Lila, will sing the anthem.
The United States of America. Out of respect for our country, we ask that you please remove your hats. Veterans, please salute. You're invited to join Wall of Fame daughter Lila Tomei as she sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free